In this video, I'm going to talk about why selling on YouTube does not work and how giving away all the value is the fastest way to high-ticket clients. Okay, tell me if this is you, right? You figured out that YouTube is a great way to get clients. You've heard success stories. You've heard people talking about how they build six-figure businesses from their YouTube. So you started creating content, you put in the work, you showed up. But in the back of your mind, there's this nagging question, right? When do I actually sell? And every time you think about it, you get uncomfortable, right? You don't want to be that person. You know the type, right? The one who turns every video into a pitch, the one who's constantly pitching their course, their coaching, their services, the one who makes you feel like you're watching a 15-minute commercial, right? You don't want to be salesy. You don't want to turn people off. You don't want to damage the trust that you've been building. So you do what most people do, right? You avoid selling altogether. So you just keep giving value, hoping that somehow magically clients will just appear. But that doesn't work either. In this video, I'm going to show you why traditional selling on YouTube does not work. And I'm going to give you a completely different approach. One that feels natural, builds massive trust, and actually converts viewers into high-ticket clients. And fair warning, what I'm about to share might completely flip what you think you know about content marketing on its head. So what are we going to cover? Why traditional selling on YouTube actively repels your ideal clients. The real reason people buy from you, and it has nothing to do with convincing or persuading, right? The give away the sauce framework that I use to attract high-ticket clients who are ready to pay, okay? This is the same approach I use for my own channel. I literally have a mega course on my channel where I give away everything that I do for other people, right? No gatekeeping, no steps skipped, right? No, but if you want the real secrets, buy my course, right? And I'm gonna explain exactly why that works and why it will work for you too.
If you're a coach or consultant who's too busy serving clients to create consistent content and you want to see how we build your YouTube authority machine completely done for you, I made a video breaking down the entire system. Check out the link in the description below this video.
Okay, when someone discovers your channel, they're in research mode. They have a problem, they're looking for information, they're trying to figure out if you know what you're talking about. And every video they watch, every piece of value you provide builds trust, right? That trust accumulates over time and they start to think this person really knows their stuff, right? I like how they explain things, I'm learning a lot, right? And then you hit them with a hard sell, right? And if you want to learn more, click the link below and buy my $1,000 course, right? What happens to that trust, right? It crashes instantly. So it feels like the entire video was just a setup, right? Did you actually give them everything or were you just holding back, right? The hard sell actively destroys the trust you spend so much time building. This is why so many business owners feel stuck, right? They know they need to monetize their content somehow, but every time they try to sell, it feels wrong. It damages relationships and it doesn't work, okay? The instinct is correct, right? Traditional selling does not work very well on a YouTube channel, right? But the solution is not avoiding selling altogether. The solution is to understand why people actually buy. Okay, most people think selling is about convincing and persuading. They think the goal is to overcome objections, to handle resistance, to push someone from a no to a yes through psychological tricks. This is what we see in Hollywood. It's completely wrong for YouTube, right? YouTube is not a sales call. It's not a one-on-one conversation where you read body language, ask questions, and adapt. It's a broadcast medium. You're speaking to thousands of people at once. You have no idea where each viewer is in their journey. Some are just discovering you. Some have been watching for months. Some are ready to buy, right? Some will never buy. When you try to convince and persuade, right, you're using a sledgehammer when you need to use a scalpel. You're treating everyone the same when they're all in different places, right? You turn people off who aren't ready and you come across as desperate to the people who are. There's a better way, and it starts with understanding the real reason that people buy, okay? In reality, people buy because they convince themselves to buy. Think about the last time you made a significant purchase, right? Did someone sell you? Did they overcome your objections and push you to say yes? Or did you do your own research? Did you watch their content, read their testimonials, check out their website, and gradually build confidence that this was the right decision, right? And by the time you got on the call with them, they're basically just taking your orders, right? Maybe you had a couple questions, but if you felt good about the purchase, you were already sold before you spoke. High-ticket buyers don't get convinced, right? They do their due diligence, right? They research, they evaluate, and when they're ready, when they've convinced themselves, they reach out. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to give them everything they need to convince themselves, right? You want to give away the sauce, right? Give away the sauce. Hey, what do I mean by that? I mean, give away everything, right? Don't hold back your best stuff for paying clients. Don't tease the real secrets behind a paywall. Don't gatekeep your knowledge, right? Put it all on YouTube for free. So you're thinking, but if I give everything away, why would anyone pay me, right? That's what you're thinking. Fundamentally, this is based on a misunderstanding of why people buy high-ticket items. I have my own mega course on my channel. It's a complete walkthrough of everything I do for clients, every step of the process, every strategy, every tactic, nothing hidden, nothing is skipped. Why do people still hire me, right? This is what you want to focus on. Your ideal clients have more money than time. They could watch your entire channel They could learn everything you do. They could implement it themselves step by step or over the next 6 months or year, but they don't want to, right? They don't want to spend hundreds of hours learning something new. They don't want to make all the mistakes that come from doing something for the first time. They don't want to figure it out through trial and error. They want results fast, and they have the budget to pay for speed, right? When they watch your content and see that you know exactly what you're doing, when they see the depth of your knowledge, the clarity of your explanations, the sophistication of your approach, they think, this person knows their stuff. I could learn all this myself, but it would take forever. Or I could just hire them and get results in a fraction of the time. That's the buying decision, not did they convince me, right? Is it worth my time to do this myself, or should I just pay an expert? For your ideal clients, the answer is always pay the expert. Okay, what happens when you gatekeep? That's when you hold back your best information, when you tease the real secrets, you don't actually share them. This is for like low ticket people. When you give 80% of the value and say, for the other 20%, buy my course, right? This feels smart. It feels like good marketing. Create curiosity, then monetize it. But here's what happens. When you gatekeep, you signal that you don't trust your audience. You signal that you're more interested in their money than in actually helping them. And you signal that your free content is just a commercial for your paid content. And your audience picks up on this, right? They're not stupid. They can tell when they're being manipulated. The result is they don't trust you, okay? They're definitely not gonna pay you thousands of dollars for your services. Gatekeeping works for $47 courses sold to impulse buyers, right? But for high ticket services, it's not gonna work. Coaches and consultants who win are the ones who give everything away, because at that level, generosity builds the kind of trust that leads to $5,000, $10,000, and $20,000 engagements. Okay, the beautiful thing about giving everything away is it creates a natural filter. We have DIYers, right? They have more time than money. We have self-selectors, right? They're evaluating fit. And we have ideal clients, right? They know that you know what you're doing. They have more money than time, and they just want you to do it for them. Okay, so now let's talk about how to structure your content so that it does the selling for you, right? This is the customer journey map. It's the path that every client takes from the moment they discover you, hi, hello, right? To the moment they hand over their credit card, right? And it has 5 stages. Stage 1, stranger. They've never heard of you. They don't know you exist. Stage 2, viewer. They found one of your videos. They're watching to see if you know what you're talking about. Stage 3, fan. They've watched multiple videos. They like your style. They trust your expertise. They're subscribed or following along, right? Stage 4, they've taken an action that indicates buying intent. They've downloaded your lead magnet. They've joined your email list. They've engaged with your content in a deeper way. Maybe they've watched a how-to video and they've done what you said and it worked for them, right? Stage 5, client. They've decided to work with you. They've booked a call, signed a contract, and paid you money. Your content should guide people through this journey, not by selling at every stage, but by providing the right value at the right time, okay? Each stage of the journey, your content has one job. It's to build trust. From strangers to viewers, you want to demonstrate competence through educational how-to content, right? Viewers to fans. Demonstrate depth with unique insights and frameworks. Fans to leads, right? Demonstrate relevance with case studies and specific examples. And then leads to clients, demonstrate proof with testimonials and results. Okay, what's missing from the list? Hard selling, pitching, and convincing, right? You don't need any of that on YouTube. It doesn't work. The content does the work, right? The trust builds naturally, and when someone is ready to buy, they reach out to you, not because you push them, but because they've convinced themselves. This does not mean that you never mention your services, right? You definitely want to mention your services, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, right? The wrong way is the hard CTA. Buy my course, book a call, limited time offer, act now, right? That creates pressure. It feels salesy and it damages trust. The right way is the soft CTA, right? This is what it looks like. If you want help implementing this, I work with coaches and consultants to build their YouTube strategy. There's a link in the description if you want to learn more, right? I have a free resource that goes deeper on this topic. Grab it in the description if you want to keep learning, right? If you're ready to get these kinds of results for yourself, here's how to work with me. You're not pushing, you're not creating urgency, you're simply letting people know that the option exists. If somebody needs it done and they have more money than time, they already have the urgency. The people who are ready will take action. The people who are not will keep watching and building trust. Either way, you win, okay? In review, stop selling, start serving, right? Be helpful. Traditional selling destroys trust on YouTube, right? Hard pitches are out. People don't get convinced, they convince themselves. Your job is to give them everything they need to make that decision. Okay, 3, give away everything. Your ideal clients are not buying your information, right? They're buying your time and your expertise. They have more money than time, and they want you to do it for them. 4, gatekeeping destroys trust. It doesn't protect your business. It repels the high-ticket clients that you actually want. And 5, let your content do the selling, right? Structure your content as a customer journey. Build trust at every stage. Use soft CTAs that invite rather than push, right? When you implement this approach, you never need to feel salesy. You just show up, you provide massive value, and you let the clients come to you. So you just learned that traditional selling doesn't work and how to let your content do the selling for you, right? The next question you should be asking is, how do I actually structure my content to guide viewers through this journey? How do I create a content funnel that converts? Okay, I have a video for that. It answers exactly that question, right? Why your niche is too broad and it's killing your channel. In that video, I break down the content funnel, right? Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and show you how to create content for each stage of the customer journey, right? Link is in the description of this video. If you have any questions about what you just watched, or you feel like I didn't explain everything in a way that's clear to you, please post your questions in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you in that next video, which is in the description below this video.